Hello everyone, welcome back to my B&B Today spoiler channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The bold and the beautiful B&B spoilers hint that there's the potential for Will Spencer Crewmaro to end up with an even bigger mess on his hands. Could Melissa Dillon Sydney Bullock have a surprise pregnancy ahead that'll make matters worse? In the July 24th episode, Will took his shirt off and had a makeout session with Dillon on the counter before depositing her on the couch. The passionate moments continued. But fans can't know for sure yet whether Dillon and Will actually sealed the deal, since Will and Dillon will still be partially clothed when they wake up. There's a chance they stopped short of finishing what they started. A similar situation played out when B&B made it seem like Dillon and RJ Forrester Brian Nicoletti were going to hit the sheets. RJ and Dillon didn't actually go all the way that night, so that could be the case with Dillon and Will now, too. That said, it's also possible that Will and Dillon simply did the deed without fully stripping down. Electra Forrester Linnea Grace will certainly have a hunch that Dillon went there with Will. Once they have a heated confrontation, Dillon is going to make a big admission, so that may involve news regarding her passionate encounter with Will. Electra may wind up furious, but things could get even worse if Dillon has some baby drama brewing. If Dillon finds herself pregnant by Will, that could give her a permanent tie to him and the Spencer clan. It could also dash any lingering hope of Will and Electra's reunion. So Dillon's potential baby would be a huge deal. Will already had to contend with Luna Nozawa's Lisa Yamada pregnancy after she took advantage of him. Could another baby-related story be ahead for Will following his evening with Dillon? Will's life seems to be a constant mess at this point, so Dillon's pregnancy could throw another curveball into the mix. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Electra will end up lashing out regardless, so don't miss her upcoming wrath on Dillon and Will. Bold and the beautiful fans, buckle up, because the latest rumblings out of Los Angeles suggest the show's writers are cooking up a bombshell that could shatter Electra's world for good. Sources close to the storyline are hinting that Dillon may be carrying Will's baby, and if that's true, the fallout is going to be absolutely explosive. Let's break down everything we know, what it could mean, and why this twist might be the most talked about cliffhanger of the year. The setup for weeks now. Eagle-eyed viewers have noticed something off between Dillon and Will. Their scenes have been dripping with tension, lingering glances, unfinished sentences, and a chemistry that feels like it's building towards something the show has been carefully avoiding saying out loud. Meanwhile, Electra has been floating through the background of these scenes, blissfully unaware, planning what she thinks is a stable future with Will by her side. That's exactly the kind of setup soap operas love to blow apart. Insiders suggest that a pregnancy reveal is being teased for the coming weeks, and if the rumors hold up, Dillon could be the one at the center of it, with Will as the father. If this storyline plays out the way speculation suggests, it wouldn't just be a plot twist. It would be a full-blown detonation in the middle of Electra's life, arriving at the worst possible moment. Why this would break Electra? Think about where Electra currently stands. She's spent this entire arc trying to prove she's moved past her insecurities, trying to trust Will completely, trying to build something that finally feels secure after everything she's been through. A pregnancy reveal, especially one involving Dillon, someone she's let into her inner circle, wouldn't just be a betrayal. It would be the ultimate gut punch, the kind of twist that redefines everything she thought she knew about the people closest to her, and that's the magic or the cruelty, depending on how you look at it, of a well-timed soap pregnancy bombshell. It doesn't just complicate one relationship, it ripples outward, forcing every character connected to Electra, Will, and Dillon to pick a side, question their loyalties, and reevaluate the last several months of story. The timing question, of course. With any soap pregnancy reveal, timing is everything. Was this baby conceived before Will and Electra solidified their relationship, during a moment of doubt or separation, or out in the most dramatic version of events, during a period when everyone believed Will was fully committed to Electra? Each possibility changes the emotional math completely. If the pregnancy happened before Will and Electra were serious, the show might frame Dylan sympathetically, painting her as someone caught in circumstances beyond her control. But if it happened during their relationship, that's a different story entirely, one that turns Will into a far more complicated, potentially unforgivable figure, and forces Electra into the position of having to decide whether trust can ever be rebuilt. Soap writers love ambiguity like this because it lets them dangle multiple outcomes in front of the audience without committing early. Expect plenty of misdirection in the episodes leading up to any actual confirmation. How Dylan might react if Dylan truly is pregnant. Her reaction and how she chooses to handle the news could shape the entire arc. Does she come forward immediately, forcing the confrontation into the open? Or does she sit on the secret, terrified of what it might do to relationships she's worked hard to maintain? Soap logic tells us secrets like this rarely stay buried for long. Someone always finds a discarded test, overhears a phone call, or stumbles onto a doctor's appointment at exactly the wrong moment. If the writers follow that classic playbook, expect a slow-burn reveal, weeks of near misses and close calls before the truth finally detonates in the most public, most devastating way possible. Will's position if these rumors are accurate. Will finds himself in the classic soap opera bind, torn between two people, unable to make a choice that doesn't cause serious damage. Does he panic and try to hide the truth from Electra? Does he come clean immediately, hoping honesty might soften the blow? Or does he retreat entirely, leaving both women to deal with the fallout while he tries to figure out what he actually wants? Whatever direction the story takes, Will's choices in the aftermath could either redeem him in viewers' eyes or turn him into the storyline's primary villain. That's the tightrope these reveals always walk. What this means for Electra going forward if this pregnancy storyline unfolds as rumored. It could push Electra into an entirely new chapter, one defined by heartbreak, but also potentially by growth. Soap heroines who survive this kind of betrayal often come out the other side stronger, more guarded, or driven toward a new romantic pairing entirely. Could this be the storyline that finally sends Electra into someone else's arms? Could it be the moment she stops defining herself by the men in her life altogether? Only time and the writer's room will tell, should you believe the rumors. As always with soap spoilers, a healthy dose of skepticism is warranted. Storylines shift constantly during production, and what's teased in early speculation doesn't always make it to air in the same form. Pregnancy rumors, in particular, are some of the most common and most frequently wrong predictions in the genre, since there's such an easy dramatic lever for writers to pull or to plant as a red herring. That said, the build-up between Dylan and Will has been hard to ignore, and Electra's storyline has clearly been building toward some kind of crisis. Whether this specific rumor pans out or not, it's safe to say her world is about to get shaken up. Final thoughts whether or not Dylan's pregnancy turns out to be the twist that finally cracks Electra's world open. One thing is certain, The Bold and the Beautiful is clearly setting up something big. Fans should keep their eyes on every lingering glance, every nervous exchange, and every quiet exit from a scene, because in soap opera storytelling, those are always the moments right before everything changes. Stay tuned, because if this storyline breaks the way it's rumored to, Electra's heartbreak might just be getting started.